right, Cowboy Nation, let's get right to it. Troy Aikman talking about back in my day conversation, which is good. He goes into details on CeeDee Lamb 1 reception versus the 49ers. Now, he did have 5 targets, right? But let's talk about what Troy Aikman had to say. And this is what he said. San Francisco rushed 4 guys. For the most part, they blitz occasionally, but they're a 4-man rush football team. But a lot of times when you say that, then you think they're playing coverage, right? Like you think that there's a lot of people out there in coverage, which is not the case nor the scenario. They mixed in some coverage, but there was a lot of single coverage on CeeDee Lamb. I hate going back to when I was playing because nobody cares. But what I see around the league, and not just for Dallas, I've seen it with a lot of teams. A lot of these offenses want to scheme things. The coordinators, it's all about scheme rather than this corner is playing soft. He's scared to death. Just run the route tree. Run a comeback route. Run a dig route. Run a curl. Run anything. You're going to complete that pass whenever you want, in quotations, right? Michael Irvin would have had 10 catches at halftime if they played us the way they played CeeDee Lamb in that game. The game is not that difficult. If I got a great player at wide receiver and a corner is playing him single coverage, throw him the ball. He's going to win most of the time. You know, when we read that excerpt by the mighty Troy Aikman, he got a lot of truths in it, right? You see the single coverage, the one-on-one to the outside, go Lamb way, right? If Lamb is one-on-one. And also, if you see the single coverage on Amari Cooper's side, go that way. And when you think about it, the one catch that CeeDee Lamb was able to catch was a hitch route, right? Not a lot of drags across the middle with Lamb. No slants. I don't see any slants with Lamb in his offense. No deep crossers. Now, you see some verts, and that's just how CeeDee Lamb was able to catch some balls in the previous game, right? A vert up the middle, what have you. And the creativity aspect of Lamb versus a cornerback that's playing soft, we just don't see them work that way. Now, to be fair, around the league, they figure out ways to get their playmakers in the game. If he's not having a good start or what have you. For example, Debo, he dropped the ball a lot, believe it or not. But how they circumvent that is, hey, let's get this man in the game. They line him in the backfield. They put him inside the slot. They send him out in motion. They throw pretty much little sink routes to him to get them in rhythm. Even if it's behind the LOS, they make sure that they get Debo into the game plan. Jamar Chase, the same way. They make sure that they get him into the game plan. The worst thing that can ever happen to a wide receiver, you don't get the ball into the second half or late in the second quarter. Your mind, your mental capacity will not be there if you continue to block, and you never getting the ball, right? Or you ran the route the best way possible and the ball don't go your way. You're frustrated. You're angry. You said, I beat that guy over there and the ball is not going my way. Now, Dak Prescott, the caliber of quarterback that you got out of Dak Prescott. For one, he's not the gunslinger. I know people going to be looking at the salary and saying, man, you paying the man $75 million. He should be a gunslinger, right? That's just not in him, right? That's not his game plan. He thrives off play action. Look, anywhere between 20 to maybe 28 passes attempt a game, you're going to get maximum good performance from Dak Prescott. You're running a little too high end when you do 35 to 40. That's just me being real with you guys, right? And I get it. A lot of people going to say, well, if you're paying that much money for him, why is he so limited? Well, I think that you're not paying the money for him to go out there just because he got it to throw the ball around for 50 times a game. 9 times out of 10, if you do that, man, you're losing that game. Balance is the key. Balance is the key. You buy cars to do car things. You buy trucks to do truck things. You don't buy the truck to say, okay, I wanted to do car things, right? So, and that's just an analogy. That's all I'm saying. But when you look at this particular offense, you could line CeeDee Lamb in the backfield. You can put him in motion so he can get the ball. Jet sweep. Oh, news flash, Cowboy Nation. When CeeDee Lamb do run the ball, he's averaging right at 7.5 per run. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm trying to figure out a way to make CeeDee Lamb comfortable enough so that he can be in rhythm, so he won't be cold, whether it's line him up in the backfield. I know that my starting running back got a PCL tear, right? I know that my starting running back is one hell of a guy when he's blocking, right? It could be a situation, if I'm trying to win the game, Ezekiel Elliott, we love what you bring to the table, but you're going to be our third down back because, hey, I don't want you to hurt that leg anymore. And my first down running back, my first and second down running back would be Tony Pollard, or I'll mix in some flash plays with CeeDee Lamb. I'm trying to win the game. Oh, and on top of that, Cowboy Nation, the same could be said about Amari Cooper. I'm targeting my targets, right? My number one guys, my guys that I know that can make plays. Cedric Wilson, he'll be my fourth or fifth thought when it comes down to like production with the ball. But what happened within the confines of this system, everything is a little bit backwards. You see, Cedric Wilson was the first thought, and everybody else was like third or fourth, right? It was Cedric Wilson and Dalton Schultz who led the team in targets plus receptions. That's a big problem. And can the offensive line play better? Yes. Can Dak Prescott throw the ball better? Yes. Not throwing it to the man on the moon. He must climb the pocket even though he don't trust it because his front is getting their butts handed to him. They only rushing 4 like my guy Troy Aikman just lamented. But to me, just to me, Cowboy Nation, hooks, hitch, button hooks, those type of routes, come back, that's not enough, baby. That's not enough. Get CeeDee Lamb on some slants. Let him come across the middle. They was giving you the middle of the field. Work and utilize the middle of the field. Plenty of opportunity to say, hey, even if my offensive line getting their butts handed to me, 1, 2, 3, I'm getting the ball out to either Amari Cooper or to CeeDee Lamb. If it's an interception, what Dak got to understand that, yes, the Cowboys are going to harp on you the Cowboy fans are going to harp on you for throwing an interception. But dog it, at least you can say to yourself, I'm trying to get the ball to my playmakers. And I trust them, juxtaposed to me rolling out, buying time, looking down the field, trying to make the big play. And it's not happening. Or go to the quarterback coach or the offensive coordinator and say, hey, we need some quick slants across the middle. We need some blitz killers just in case if they blitzing 1 or 2 guys. Or we need some zone beaters, right? If they plan sitting in zone. Multiple ways. And I don't know the longitude or latitude of how many plays he audibled out of them, right? But somewhere down the line, Dak himself got to go to the offensive coordinator and say, hey, I'm throwing this thing around 40 times. We need to run this ball a little bit more. We need to attack the edge, not 21 slam up the gut. That's where the meat is at on the defense. Attack the edge. That's all I have to say with that, Cowboy Nation. There's no way, no rhyme or reason why CeeDee Lamb ended this game with 1 catch. Now I know he had 5 targets, right? And there's no rhyme or reason of why Tony Pollard only touched the ball 4 times. That's disaster, right? That's disaster right there. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. Shout out to the mighty Troy Aikman. I always love his insights, man, because he's so close to the game. And he's speaking from truth, right? Right, Cowboy Nation? So, let's go, Cowboy Nation, let's go. DC for life. Salute.